This was literally my screen time in 2020 when I had social media. It was COVID times. I was just scrolling my whole life away, watching anime, watching YouTube, playing games. This is what it is now. Your life will literally change if you delete social media, and here's how. I listen to my story, you'll figure out how my life changed and maybe how yours might also possibly change. And you're thinking, oh, maybe I should kind of delete it, it's probably not good for me. Like, deep down, it's not even that good for you. And you kind of just have it because everyone else has it. And continue to watch this video because by the end of this video, you'll be left with the tools, ideas, thought processes, and mindset I wish I knew before I deleted social media. Like, what is gonna happen? Like, how does it even look like? You'll be able to discover and truly decide for yourself whether you want to delete social media or not. Throughout this video, I will update this timeline as I speak about my journey, and I'll update this list of things I wish I knew as I talk about my journey, so that hopefully you can gain some value out of it and come to the conclusion yourself, see whether or not it's going to be a good decision for you. And so let's really get into this now. So before I deleted Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever, what did my life look like? What apps did I have? Literally, what is like the context of my whole journey right now, right? I got my first social media when I was 14, and compared to a lot of people that I was friends with, this was pretty late. And then I got Snapchat because I'm like, everyone else has Snapchat, so I want Snapchat. So then I got Snapchat. And then I got Twitter because I was like, everyone has Twitter, all the news is on there. And then I got Twitter. And so by the time I was about 17, I finally figured out that, probably time for this to go, but I never took action upon it until I was like 19, right? I already knew I kind of hated Snapchat. So I deleted the app. And that was the first one to go because I already thought that Snapchat was kind of a stupid app. Like, well, why do I have to send streaks to people? And why does it matter so much? And everything. And then I'm just like, okay, you know what? Let me just delete Snapchat. I don't even use it that much. And I kind of hate this app. The thing I didn't know was that the whole time I was spending on Snapchat will just be like redirected to Instagram and everything, right? And so this brings me on to my first couple of points, is that even though you delete your app doesn't mean that you're not going to find ways to distract yourself. You probably are going to assume you're not going to be spending much time distracted, procrastinating, and you'll actually be able to get your work done. But no, this is something I wish I really knew, is that you're not going to be instantly being able to be productive and on the grind and doing everything that you want to do, because first of all, personally, I built up a habit of just avoiding things. I always found ways to distract myself, regardless if it was on social media or if it was on YouTube or if it was on whatever, okay? I never ended up being as productive as I thought I was going to be the moment I deleted the app, right? Deleting Snapchat wasn't this magical revolutionary thing, right? I was still spending 4 to 6 hours on Instagram every day. And even if I deleted Instagram, when I deleted Instagram, and when I deleted YouTube, I was seriously avoiding something so big and scary that I didn't want to face, I would still somehow end up scrolling. Because this is something that I'd adapted to doing for so long, for so many years. I'd adapted to just avoiding every single thing in my life. And then when I had to suddenly deal with all of these things, it was a bit overwhelming, but actually it wasn't as bad as it seemed, because your mind slowly starts to show you the problems that you're having in your life. It isn't just you delete it and then bam, you have a bunch of problems in your face. It's kind of gradual, right? But when you find a big problem in your life that you actually need to solve, that's when it becomes a problem, because then you have a more likely tendency to go back and do the thing that you'd been adapted to doing for so long. If you do plan on deleting social media, remember that the first month or so, you're still going to be finding ways to distract yourself. So please do not be so hard on yourself when you do find that you are distracting yourself. The second thing I wish I knew was that you end up avoiding a lot of emotions that you feel on a daily basis, right? Because you have the habit of just avoiding and avoiding and avoiding, you don't actually get to feel your emotions. You don't actually let yourself process what you're going through, and then that just leaves you just drained. Absolutely, you don't know what to do. You feel overwhelmed, you feel stressed out, burnt out, you feel I don't know, you just feel constantly shit. The longer you stay away from social media, the more that your conscious mind will start to pick up on these problems that you have in your life, and then you can actually get along in solving them and actually start to create a life that you want to live, right? And then the third thing in which I wish I knew was that you're gonna have a lot of free time, and this can be either a good thing or a bad thing, right? And it can be a good thing because then you'll realize how you actually want to spend your time, how you actually want to live your life. And it can also be a bad thing because you could be using this time to distract yourself. This is what I was first doing, right? But the longer you stay off it, I'm literally promising you, the longer you stay off it, the more you'll start to realize what you need to do, all the things you need to solve. And literally the way that this habit works is that once it's removed, sure, you're going to be distracted for a while, right? But you're not going to be distracted on something that gives you instant dopamine, okay? I don't know, you're gonna distract yourself like lying on the floor, right? And then once you've had enough of lying on the floor, then you'll be like, okay, yeah, you know, now I can do work. You'll realize like, oh shit, like I have so much time to just think. And for some people that may be super scary. Like they don't want to sit with their own thoughts because it's scary. Like your own thoughts are scary, but you kind of also just have to sit with them. You have to let yourself feel all your emotions because that's the only way you'll be able to process them, right? If you're feeling sad, let yourself feel sad. Like don't bottle it up because that's gonna make you feel worse in the end. So the third and last thing that I wish I knew before I deleted social media is that if an event is big enough, you will literally hear about it. Very much common to get all your news and like what's happening in the world from social media because yeah, sure, it's a good outlet to connect everyone and to like know exactly what's going on in the world at this very moment, right? But first of all, sometimes that's like really overwhelming. You don't need to know everything exactly what's happening at every single moment of your life because that's going to cause extra stress on you and you're going to be prevented in doing the things that you don't need to do. You will eventually end up hearing about controversy or drama. If it's small, like no one's going to talk about it, right? But if it's big, everyone's going to be talking about it. You're going to know eventually, okay? It doesn't even matter, right? You're going to think that you're going to lose all these news and connections and whatever, but if something is really like big, you're gonna know about it. And that was literally the case for me. Like, and also the people that are wanting to text you will text you. If someone really wants to talk to you, they're gonna take the time out of their day to ask for your number, ask for different ways of contacting you, and they'll actually contact you and actually talk with you instead of just like, you know, replying your stories as the only time they talk to you, okay? Like, you will literally get to discover who your real friends are and who actually wants to talk to you and who actually wants to keep in touch with you. That's what I wish I knew, like, before I deleted it. Listen, like, first of all, I'll find ways to distract myself. Second of all, I'll have too much time. And third of all, you'll hear the news and you'll get to know who your true friends are and who actually wants to keep in contact with you. The whole like 4 to 5 years that I was like on social media, I was like using it like it was my whole life's purpose. Like I had no life outside of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and watching anime, binge watching shows. Just I was constantly online and I didn't leave any room for my thoughts to like develop and to think creatively, to problem solve, to like, you know, do well with my life, because the only thing that my headspace was occupied with was just social media. Like there wasn't anything else in my head. I didn't want to create a life that I liked living, you know. Like I mean deep down I did, but I didn't realize I had those goals and aspirations until I deleted social media, like day in, day out scrolling. Like if I wasn't scrolling, I was watching anime. If I wasn't watching anime, I was watching YouTube. I was constantly consuming things. I was constantly watching stories, liking people's stories, watching people's posts, and then also being like, shit, I have FOMO because like I'm seeing all these other people's stories and they're hanging out without me, but it's like some person that I don't even care about. Like deep down, I don't care about them because it's someone that I don't even talk to. So by the time it was 2023, I was like, okay, yeah, it's probably a good idea to like delete all these apps because I'm literally just wasting my life and I kind of feel so disgusting 24/7. I started to understand that the reason I felt disgusting 24/7, the reason I wasn't doing anything with my life, and the reason that I wasn't even progressing in my life is because I was just constantly scrolling my life away. So I deleted like all the apps and then I re-downloaded it because I'm like, okay, what if someone texts me? No one was texting me, guys, okay? And so then I deleted again. And then after like another couple months, I was like, oh my god, yes, I want to do social media queen. I want to be an influencer. So I downloaded TikTok. And that was the first time I had TikTok. And I also downloaded Instagram. And then I also downloaded Twitter because I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I gotta be the content girly. I gotta make content, right? Let me tell you, that month where I had like all the social medias back on my phone, worst month ever. I just felt drained. I wasn't able to do anything. I was just scrolling again and everything came back again. All my bad habits that I thought I'd like thrown away when I deleted everything, bam, instantly back. Instantly back. Towards the end of the year, I literally had like everything deleted off my phone for like probably like 6 months. Like I'd only download it like once or twice for like 5 seconds to just like see something that I posted like maybe 5 years back. And then other than that, I was pretty much off it until beginning of this year, where I decided to like literally just delete it for good, because by the end of the year I'm like, frick, well, my life is so much better without it. Why do I need to even have an account, right? And so January 2024, when it literally hit midnight, the first thing I did was delete my Instagram account because I'm like, I don't need this anymore. Like, I literally don't need this anymore. My life does not depend on it. And my life is so much better without it. Throughout the whole time where I had to like flip-flopping between downloaded and not downloaded, I realized all the things that I wanted to do in my life. I realized what goals I had for my life. Like before I deleted everything, I wasn't even sure of like my goals or aspirations. I didn't even know what I wanted to do in my life. I had no direction in my life. I'm not even joking when I'm saying the only thing that was consuming my mind, that was consuming my life, was social media, was either social media, anime, or YouTube. It was those three things that literally just consumed my entire life, and I didn't have any goals. I had no direction, I had no goals. And 3-4 months after I deleted it, goals, dream life, dream person, dream self, dream car. Like, I just instantly figured out what I wanted, because the time that you spend with your own thoughts, you get to like discover like, you know, what you truly want in your life. Because now, like, that I've had like nothing on my phone for the past 5 months now, let me tell you, my life is so much better. I feel so much more happier, productive, energized, social, like improving myself. Like, I have so much fulfillment in my life. If I never took the first step to deleting social media, then I wouldn't have taken the first step to improving upon my health. And if I didn't improve upon my health, I'm not scrolling anymore. And especially now, like, I've literally gotten over this habit of like constantly distracting myself, constantly avoiding things. I face things head on now. Like, no more like hiding away from things, no more avoiding things, no more distracting from things. I'm gonna face these problems head on, because that's the only way I'll advance in life. That's the only way, right? Like, if I don't solve any problems in my life, how am I gonna get to the next level? Like, this is literally a video game, guys, right? So now it's like April. I'm so focused on the life that I want to create, the dream life, the dream self. Like, I'm so zoned in how I want to create my life and what type of life I want to live and everything, that if it weren't for like the deletion of all of these apps, I wouldn't even have the ideas to actually go about and understand what type of life I wanted to live. Like, what? Like, I was so plagued with uncertainty and just this feeling in my stomach that was just like, I don't know, that was just in my tummy 24/7, and like, I just didn't know what to do with my life, and like, I kind of hated it. But now I feel so happy and so excited to live every single day and feel like just energized by every day that I live. And it's just actually just a beautiful thing. Now I'm actually able to live every single moment. You're not supposed to like live being distracted and avoiding everything, right? Because like, you're meant to live this life. You're literally meant to live every moment, because you only have one moment. So if you don't even like allow yourself to feel emotions, if you don't allow yourself to like do hard things or feel hard things, or like, I don't know, like, you just won't be able to like grow. And that's just a very scary fact, that like, if you just scroll away mindlessly, then you'll literally be the same person in 5 years. And you know how sad that is? Not that like it's bad to be who you are right now, but it's just that, like, you know, imagine you planted a little tree, but this tree never grew, never gave you fruit. And it's like, it's kind of sad, you know? Like, it'll be like that. When I say it's worth it to delete your social medias, I'm saying, like, actually, it's so worth it. Your life will change. There are some things that, like, you do that everyone says that was like, oh my god, your life will change if you do this. Like, some of those things, maybe not. Okay, but literally, I'm telling you, if you get off Instagram, if you get off social media, if you get off Snapchat, TikTok, whatever, if you get off them for at least 6 months, your life's gonna completely change. By deleting social media, you'll be able to focus on yourself finally. And then once you start to focus on yourself, you will get your life back. You're not gonna be wasting your life away on social media, because, you know, social media is technically free to download, right? But what is the price you're paying? Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life is free, so what is the price you're paying for having social media on your phone and for consuming content on social media? Pretty obvious answer if you ask me. Your whole life. Your whole freaking life. So if you're thinking of deleting it and you don't have any job tied to it, and you just have it because everyone else has it, and you're like kind of scared that you're gonna like lose all your friends if you delete social media, just do it. Because it's gonna be the best decision you make ever. Challenge yourself and see how long you can stay off social media, right? Challenge yourself to stay off it for like 2 months. That's it, just 2 months. You can download it again and scroll your life away again. Go ahead. But just 2 months, just see what happens, right? Like, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. And I really hope that you gained some value out of it. And Hopefully it might have even convinced you to delete social media. Hopefully you gained some insight that you can use in your life. And if you gained and learned something from this video, consider liking, subscribing, or sharing it to someone who may also use it too. If you want to get exclusive sneak peeks of possible videos that I might create, consider subscribing to my weekly newsletter Glow of Fridays. That's it for now. I'll see you next week. Maybe.